using our head when we're doing jiu-jitsu. So the head is the first thing you make contact with. So if you have good head position, you're automatically gonna make winning every battle much, much easier. And if you have poor head position, you're gonna make them winning every battle much, much easier for them. So it's very important you win the initial head position battle. And simply just understanding there's a battle there will keep you ahead of 90% of your opponent. So let's use Tim. We're gonna start from the standing position, and then we'll go from the kneeling position and guard and see how it translates to jiu-jitsu as well. So initiate, right? What we're looking for a head position, and we're looking for an angle. So if we tie up with our opponent, right? Right now we have equal head position. We're head to head, we're fighting from here, right? What would be a disadvantage of me if I have my head upright and Tim has inside head position where his head is down low? Obviously that's not very good. So the goal is to get your head inside the collarbone. If you can do that, you can dominate the standing exchanges automatically. So we're fighting here, we tie up. If I can steal inside head position and be at an angle my leg is close, so I have angle advantage with my head, I can start pushing my opponent around and bullying him across the map. So even Tim is much bigger than me. As he tries pushing against me, I can win the battle of pushing. Why? Because my center line is over here and his center line is over there. Furthermore, me winning head position will also stop all his ability to shoot on my leg and go into offense. So if Tim tries shooting while I have inside head position, you can see how it's pretty much impossible because he needs to get rid of my head, right? So our first drill isn't too complex or crazy. Just think about stealing your head inside the collarbone. Try not being head to head where you're just here. This isn't really winning head position. This is just being in a neutral stance. So make it asymmetrical. Get that slight angle where you're like this. Now you have the advantage. Now you can go towards your attacks. Now you can think about easily picking up the leg and going towards sing legs. But it all starts with winning head position and winning angle, right? So one example how we could go, we'd be head to head. We steal a collar tie like so. We use a collar tie to pull his head out of position and we just circle. And now we have head position, and now we can start going from there, right? But you get creative, experiment with winning from standing position with our head, and then we'll look at how it applies to guard, to passing, and all the other. All right, circle up, guys. It's already filming, so yeah. All right, now we're gonna look at the idea of stealing head position when we're passing. So this concept is good from standing, but it's also good from passing. And more so, it's best to stop your opponent attacking you. So one of the worst things you can do in jiu-jitsu is approach your opponent's guard with upright posture, lackadaisical, stuff like that, right? You're just giving him all his attacks already, right? You're letting him get deep into attacks and then you're looking to defend. This isn't ideal. Ideally, you wanna win head position and you wanna make sure he cannot grab you and you can grab him. So if I approach like this, he can enter my legs quite easily, and now I'm on the defense defending leg locks. That isn't really acceptable. Like, why would I give myself that disadvantage when we first start? So if I simply match head levels, or even better, take that head inside the collarbone that we talked about earlier, it's gonna be much easier for me to start moving him around, pushing his shoulders, and most importantly, denying his ability to attack me. So what does this look like? So just enter in a stance where we match head levels. Me simply doing this will make it harder for him to grab me. So Tim, try grabbing my legs and entering my legs. All right. See how me simply just putting my head down low and matching his head level stops all that? Yes, it's not very offensive, but we'll look at offense next. And then if you can transfer to that, now putting your head inside his collarbone, now you can start moving him around similar to what we did from the standing position. So if I can start moving from here to here, now you can see I can push. As he tries staying seated, it's the easiest thing in the world for me to put him on his back, flatten him out, and start getting angle, right? Just realize, like, all the stuff you do in wrestling and all the principle just applies from the jiu-jitsu position as well. So we need to modify some things. So our main goal once he's seated is to put him on his back. If we approach like this, horrible. So always approach with matching head levels. As the opponent tries to grab you, right, we make forward-to-forward contacts. As he tries making connection, you can see how he can stay safe. And staying safe is the first part, and then offensive is the second part. From here, I can take my head and slide it inside his collarbone. So this is very good. And now I can use my body weight to lean on him. So now as he tries staying seated, attacking me, it's pretty much impossible. And now I can think about circling and putting hands on his feet and getting my angle. And once I get my angle, he has two options, right? He can stay seated, in which case he's, go back. He can stay seated, in which case I'm probably gonna go towards body lock passing or snap him down towards front headlock, or more than likely, he's just gonna fall on his back and try to retain guard. Yep, makes sense? Any questions? Not, 3, 2, 1. Thank you. Thank you. We talked about head position from standing, head position from guard passing, now also head position from seated guard. So if my opponent's standing over the top of me, we looked at the idea if he wins head position, you're behind. So same thing applies from the seated position. You can just always apply the inverse to what we did before. So ideally from here, I'm trying to win head position. If I can have my shoulders in front of my hips and my head forward, let's say for now his head is upright, this is very good for me. Because now as I start going into attacks, I can attack with more connection. If I play from positions like this, from seated, where my shoulders are behind my hips and my head is very proud, this is very weak. Right? Even as I go to move around, he can push me, he can shove. I'm not in a very strong posture. I'm just gonna fall on my back. So whenever I'm playing seated, I wanna think about a couple things. One, my shoulders being above my hips and me having my hand on the mat so I can push my butt backwards and stay in this position here. And two, being hunched forward and my head tucked in relatively forward like so. And we'll talk about how to prevent front headlock in a second. So now as he tries pushing me down, even if he tries stealing head position, see, my head is in the way. The worst thing I can do from here is get scared and start moving my head away because I'm uncomfortable. If I move my head away, where he has inside head position, what do I give him? I give him that angle, and now I have to fall to my back. I have to fall towards a secondary type of guard that maybe I didn't want to go towards. So if we do get caught in these head position battles, shoulders forward, have your hand on the mat. As he tries pushing you backwards, you scoot your hips and start moving from here. Now you may be asking, what if he snaps you down? So if he snaps you down, what we want to think about stopping the snap down from the seated position is having some type of post in front of me with my leg so I can pull my head backwards and push and keep my neck very strong. So I have nothing in front of me, just trying to pull isn't that strong. But me simply having my heel, as my opponent tries snapping me down now, I can keep my head nice and proud. Try snapping me down. You can see I keep my head proud, and maybe this will be enough for me to start sitting forward and connecting to him, grabbing his legs and doing things like that, right? But I know this class isn't the most glamorous, but really think about the head position, because if you can win the first initial contact towards your opponent, it's gonna make winning every other battle so much easier, and vice versa. If he can win the contact, then your life's gonna be very, very difficult. So from now, we're thinking about shoulders in front of hips, like so. We're thinking about hands being posted and staying in this position. Shoulders in front of hips, shoulders rounded. He tries going head to head and pushing me down. I can keep my opponent in front of me. I can go here. And if he lets me get head position, even better, then I can start grabbing the legs and doing things like that. If your opponent tries snapping you down, your heel on the mat can keep your head proud, making it difficult. What we want to think about doing is having our head aligned with the center line. If we have our head draped towards one side too much, isn't very good. Just keep your head in the center, and as he tries snapping you down, you can just circle with him and make it very difficult. And now you can start entering his legs. I'll leave the options up to you, but the concept is head position. Yeah, 3, 2, 1. So, last thing we're gonna do, we're gonna talk about head position when passing an opponent on his back. So this time, we put our opponent supine, and we're playing from here. So head position is also very important, especially when we're connected and we're in like a split squat scenario or a De La Riva scenario. So first, we approach the guard and we step in like so, and we start getting connection. Head position is very important for here. If I have my head out of position, it's very upright. You can see how my body is in a bad position. You can start scooping my legs. You can start attacking me. So similar from here, if I want to shut down his ability to attack me, I think about taking my head underneath his head. Very simple. So from positions like this, just keep your head here. Your opponent tries attacking you, grabbing and averting underneath you. Go, try attacking me. You can see how it makes it very difficult. In order for him to attack me, he would need to get my head out of position using cross frames and things like that, and now I can start going into his attacks. So if I can simply just deny him solid connection and keep my head in this space, life is pretty good. Now I want to make sure I don't do too excessively and put my head in his armpit, because this is where I can get snapped down. So generally a sweet spot just underneath his chin, I find that's the best case scenario, right? Anytime we're here, even when we're on the outside of legs and we're leaning towards here, if I can have my head inside his far shoulder, this is pretty good, right? Normally he's gonna have frames in place, but if you can get here, this is ideal. As he tries attacking you, as he tries wrestling up, right, we can use that head to stop all of his attacks. It really is that simple. And if you watch good guard passers, they always lead with the head, and they always make sure they shut down their opponent's attacks. Same thing from De La Riva. Now De La Riva, you can be upright, but if you're trying to smash and come down low, if you can have low head position here when he tries attacking you, he tries wrestling up, when he tries inverting, it's much, much more difficult. Right? But more so from the split squat. Any questions? Now, so now we're gonna experiment being in reverse del Evo / split squat and just keeping our head low like so. And we're gonna make sure we can shut down all of his offense. Yeah, 3, 2, 1.